Good afternoon. I'm Jim Bryant, and it's a pleasure to be speaking with you all today. For the next 10 minutes or so, I'll be providing you with an update on Chinese bookstores. First, for those of you who aren't familiar with OpenBook, please allow me to introduce you. OpenBook is China's leading market research firm focused exclusively on the book publishing industry. OpenBook is privately owned and celebrating its 23rd anniversary this year. We monitor the sales of books for more than 13,000 physical and online bookstores. And we've created a platform which allows publishers, authors, investors, and others to access real-time sales information and trends that we're seeing in this dynamic market. OpenBook's bestseller list are the de facto standard in China. Over the past several years, we've been working very closely with Western publishers and booksellers to identify partnership and investment opportunities in China and throughout Asia. Let's not also forget that China invented paper and ink over 2,000 years ago, and also invented woodblock printing. During the Tang Dynasty, from 618 to 907 AD, China was the world's leader in book production. And fast forward 1,000 years, and China is once again surely the global leader in the number of books it prints and publishes for domestic and global consumption. And the level of innovation that we're seeing with the way in which books are being sold is astounding. In my view, China is in the midst of its own cultural renaissance. This is highlighted by the amazing advancement in the sciences and the arts, and this is also being seen in the book publishing industry today. Let's take a quick look. My plan is to share innovations that China's physical bookstores have applied to their basic operation and business models. The internet era has obviously accelerated the transformation of the physical bookstores in China. And the two major impacts of online bookstores in China are price competition and convenience. According to OpenBook, online bookstores sell books at a discount of 58% off and offer even greater discounts during promotional festivals such as Jingdong 618 and Taobao's Double 11. Many online stores are using books as a tool to attract traffic and selling books at a loss, but making a profit by selling other goods. Customers can, of course, buy books online and have them delivered to their home the same day. The dilemma for physical bookstores in China lies in two factors. First, if they sell books at the same low prices as online bookstores, their gross profit from selling books is close to zero or even negative. Secondly, if they choose to serve only a specific group of people who are not price sensitive, then their number of customers and their overall foot traffic will be reduced. Overall, this big trend is irreversible, and in response, China's physical bookstores are innovating with new business models. China's physical bookstores have first adjusted and improved their basic operations to further enhance customers' experience. As you know, there's a huge amount of development taking place all around China today, and consequently, there are a large number of opportunities to experiment with new ideas for, amongst other things, where to locate and how to present bookstores. In the past, while determining the location, bookstores used to buy locations in busy central commercial areas with their shops facing busy streets to draw in the flow of customers from outside. Now, as cities are expanding, bookstores are experimenting with openings in a wide variety of locations in new residential and commercial developments. Here's a photo of Suzhou Phoenix Culture Square, a famous landmark in Suzhou, Jiangsu province. Phoenix Publishing and Media Group invested 1.6 billion RMB in this project, which includes a cultural and commercial complex made up of a large-scale book city, as well as office buildings and residential buildings. It's an exciting new urban development with the theme of culture. It's obvious that one should first determine the business scale of a physical bookstore. In the past, bookstore area was determined based on the size of property. Now, the most common size of physical bookstores lies between 300 and 1,000 square meters, which could be flexibly adjusted according to the target groups. Smaller scale bookstores are able to adapt in a more flexible way, which are showing up in hospitals and communities and schools and even inside of libraries. In some cities, larger scale bookstores of tens of thousands of square meters within commercial centers have emerged with various formats offering a variety of cultural activities activities within the bookstores, such as cinemas, restaurants, coffee shops, and even retail stores. Rather than the bookstore being located within a shopping area, we are now seeing that all these other activities are taking place inside the bookstore. Think of the bookstore as a center hub of activity which promotes a cultural identity. Here is a photo of Windshare Bookstore in Sichuan. They partnered with a shopping center to open 2 bookstores with an area of 10,000 square meters, which has become the shopping center's new main store. Bookstores in China have evolved greatly over the last 30 years. In fact, in the 1990s, it was still common for customers to stand in line to request a book from a clerk who would then retrieve it from the shelves behind the counter. When modern bookstores first emerged around 20 years ago, they assumed the additional role that we may associate with our local public libraries, where individuals and families come to spend hours reading together. So in addition to shoppers, you have a large number of readers who come just to enjoy reading books. It's kind of a curious thing. Imagine a clothing store in Frankfurt that encouraged people to come in and try on the clothes that they're selling and spend the day walking around wearing the clothes and deciding whether or not they want to purchase them. But back in China today, we find that in many cities, new bookstores are no longer designed as places where merely books are sold, but rather as imaginative urban cultural spaces that constantly strive to create and improve. For example, their interior layouts are planned carefully and rationally, incorporating props for the display of books and other products that are both of high quality and practical use and matched with appropriate lighting. Some bookstores include areas where customers can read and rest, providing coffee and other refreshments. There's even one bookstore in Guangzhou we visited recently that's open 24 hours a day and has loft bedrooms where you can lay in bed and read. We're also seeing the emergence of dedicated event spaces. It's not uncommon for bookstores to reserve a portion of their space for events. Even small bookstores try to provide multi-purpose areas, which is something that is not as often seen in other countries and regions. Bookstore operators believe that although this type of space does not directly generate sales, it serves as a means of attracting customers into their stores. And we're even seeing weddings hosting in bookstores. When it comes to book publishing, China is a major player. The largest bookshops have the ability to display around 300,000 titles, which is roughly equivalent to the number of books published within the last 2 years available for retail. Choosing titles out of hundreds of thousands of possible publications is difficult, and curation is obviously something that is a very key part of the success. Some large bookstore chains, such as Shixifu, have established their own systems of selection and evaluation. In some instances, they're working with publishers to obtain the exclusive rights to sell certain books, and there's a general focus on new titles, current bestsellers, and historical bestsellers within a specific store. So what new business models are we seeing? Let's take a closer look at B2G, that's business to government, B2B, that's business to mostly schools, universities, and corporations that purchase books for their employees, and the familiar B2C. B2G business is somewhat unique to China and mainly reflects the provision of public cultural services according to the specific requirements of government departments, services for organizations involved in education and party building, management and of the operation of cultural spaces for government departments, the organization and execution of local cultural festivals, and the carrying out of the distribution of teaching materials in primary and secondary schools, amongst others. This model is similar to the relationship that one can see between local public libraries in the United States and the local governments that provide their funding. Here's a picture of Dalian Book Mall, which has a studio styled after a Shanghai study room to promote culture. At the B2B level, there are some bookstores that are trying to combine the distribution of college, technical, vocational, secondary school textbooks within the on the campus itself by providing campus reading rooms. Here's a picture of a typical Beiyua campus bookstore. On the B2C level, we're seeing a wide range of new business models, from membership services to private label products and cultural services. Here on the left is a shot of Beijing Oracle Bookstore, which has more than 1,000 annual members who are a very important target for their daily operations. On the right, we see the innovative IP mall. All of the bookstore shelves in the bookstore are movable. Light and audio and other equipment are also very high quality and suitable for any cultural event. The bookstore has aligned itself with higher end brands like BMW to do new product launches. As a children's publishing company, Dolphin Media launched the 360 reading program for 3 to 6-year-olds by selling an annual plan that offers children 10 books each month. Based on a child's selection, they can customize recommendations and they can mix online offerings with in-store physical bookstore experiences. We're also seeing that a lot of bookstores are mixing up their merchandising by introducing new products, formats, and services related to customers' lives. And in doing so, they're creating a kind of third space that's kind of fun to hang out in. In conclusion, what are the implications for Western bookstores? The general idea that I would like to share with you is, as the bookselling industry continues to evolve, we need to be aware of and try new business models that are in touch with our customers and community. First, we need to imagine new business models. In the old model, bookstores were all about selling one product, books, and making money on the difference between the purchase and sale. In the new model, books are not the only product or service, but part of a system. And in this system, the bookstore is responsible for gaining the trust of its customers by offering a new value proposition based on intuition and experience. Additional products and services are needed to realize this. Selling books alone does not generate a lot of profit, but you can generate profit by offering other products and services alongside of books to make money and to create trust and value amongst your customers. Bookstores and reading have been of special value for thousands of years and will remain so. The spirit and character that people in our industry adhere to will always be valuable to mankind and society. The trust that has been placed upon us requires that we work together to find new opportunities. Books can be associated with a variety of products, and as long as we change our thinking and innovate, the survival and profitability of bookstores will not be a problem. In fast-changing society, bookstores provide a spiritual home for everyone, a place to calm down and to imagine a world around us that is setting us apart from the outside world. This is the temperament of bookstores. This ethos and faith is always valuable, not only in spiritual terms, but also in commercial terms. Although during this special outbreak period, you may not be able to come to China, our enthusiasm for welcoming you personally in the future has not been diminished. We're happy to help you identify strategic opportunities and partnerships in the world's fastest growing publishing and bookselling marketplace. Thank you all once again. It was a pleasure to speak to you today in Frankfurt, and we wish you all much success. Welcome to China.